One aircraft, one strike, one city erased from the map. This is not a movie. It is not exaggeration. It is real history. These are the 15 deadliest aircraft of the Cold War. The heralds of the apocalypse, strategic bombers. Tupolev Tu-4 Bull, Soviet Union. An exact act of reverse engineering based on the American B-29. Its historical importance was not measured in combat sorties, but in strategy. The Tu-4 gave the Soviet Union its first operational air-delivered nuclear capability, breaking the United States' atomic monopoly and making Cold War parity possible. Boeing B-52 Stratofortress, United States. The highest volume fire delivery platform ever built. During the Vietnam War, particularly in Operations Arc Light and Linebacker II, it operated in 3 aircraft cells to conduct massive carpet bombing missions. These strikes erased areas measuring roughly 3 square kilometers, with the aircraft responsible for dropping more tons of conventional explosives over Southeast Asia than were used by all sides during the Second World War. Tupolev Tu-95 Bear, Soviet Union. The only intercontinental strategic bomber powered by turboprop engines. Thanks to extremely powerful engines and contra-rotating propellers, it achieved near jet-like speeds while retaining exceptional range. One specially modified variant, the Tu-95-5, had its bomb bay and fuselage fuel tanks removed. In 1961, it was the aircraft that delivered the Tsar Bomba, a 50-megaton device, the most powerful nuclear weapon ever detonated. Tupolev Tu-16 Badger, Soviet Union. The backbone of Soviet power projection across Eurasia. Rather than relying on free-fall bombing, it evolved into a heavy cruise missile launch platform. Its primary doctrine focused on saturation attacks against United States aircraft carrier battle groups, aiming to cripple NATO naval power before carrier-based airstrikes could be launched. Tupolev Tu-22 Blinder, Soviet Union. The first operational supersonic bomber fielded by the Soviet Union. Designed to defeat air defenses of the 1960s, its tactics relied on high-speed supersonic dashes, sustained flight beyond Mach 1.5 to penetrate European airspace. From there, it could deliver tactical nuclear weapons or conduct high-speed photographic reconnaissance before interceptor forces could respond. 2. The Duelists, Fighters and Interceptors. Mikoyan Gurevich MiG-17 Fresco, Soviet Union. Technologically inferior to American supersonic jets over Vietnam, yet remarkably lethal. Its strength was not speed, but maneuverability at low velocities and brutally heavy armament. Armed with 3 cannons, 2 23mm guns, and 1 37mm N-37, it exploited visual engagement rules to ambush heavily loaded F-105 fighter bombers. By forcing close-range dogfights, the MiG-17's superior turn rate allowed it to defeat aircraft that were far faster on paper. Mikoyan Gurevich MiG-21 Fishbed, Soviet Union. The most produced supersonic fighter in history, with more than 11,000 units built. Its doctrine centered on ground-controlled interception, guided by radar stations, combined with high-speed hit-and-run tactics at speeds approaching Mach 2. Deployed in nearly every Cold War conflict, from Vietnam to the Middle East, it was responsible for the highest absolute number of air-to-air kills of the era. For decades, it served as the primary air defense fighter for Soviet-aligned and non-aligned nations alike. Dassault Mirage 3, France. The decisive aerial weapon of the Six-Day War in 1967. In the hands of the Israeli Air Force, it demonstrated the effectiveness of delta wing design and 30mm cannons over the missile-centric doctrines of the time. During Operation Focus, the Mirage 3 spearheaded the destruction of Arab air forces on the ground. In the days that followed, it secured complete air superiority over the Middle East, downing dozens of MiG fighters in direct combat. McDonnell Douglas F-4 Phantom II, United States. The West's primary multi-role fighter bomber. Operated simultaneously by the United States Navy, Marine Corps, and Air Force, it holds records for both bomb tonnage delivered and aerial victories during the Vietnam War. Originally designed as a missile-only interceptor, lacking an internal gun in early variants, it later evolved to include the M61 Vulcan cannon in the F-4E version. The Phantom proved decisive in interdicting supply routes along the Ho Chi Minh Trail and later in defending Israeli airspace during the Yom Kippur War in 1973. 3. Ground attack and interdiction. Ilyushin Tu-28 Beagle, Soviet Union. The first jet bomber produced in large numbers by the Soviet Union. Simple in design, yet strategically influential, it became the backbone of tactical bombing forces across dozens of Eastern Bloc and Middle Eastern air arms. Its importance lies in global proliferation. From the Nigerian Civil War to the Arab-Israeli conflicts, the Beagle served as a primary strike platform, offering reliable and easily maintained bombing capability to air forces with limited resources. Sukhoi Su-7 Fighter, Soviet Union. A brute force fighter bomber, engineered with a singular focus on low-altitude supersonic speed. Its core doctrine centered on delivering tactical nuclear or conventional weapons deep behind enemy lines, relying on velocity rather than stealth to evade air defenses. While its operational range and payload were modest compared to Western counterparts, its rugged construction and ease of production made it well suited for rapid saturation strikes along the front lines. Republic F-105 Thunderchief, United States. Known simply as the Thud, a massive single-engine fighter bomber originally designed for high-speed nuclear strike missions, later adapted for conventional bombing. During Operation Rolling Thunder in Vietnam, it carried the burden of the air campaign against the North. It could deliver a bomb load greater than that of a Second World War B-17 bomber. Tasked with penetrating the most heavily defended airspace around Hanoi, it suffered the highest loss rate of any American aircraft in the conflict, with nearly 400 airframes destroyed. Grumman A, 6 Intruder, United States. The primary all-weather attack aircraft of the United States Navy and Marine Corps. Equipped with the complex DIANE radar system, the A-6 possessed a rare capability. It could locate and destroy point targets in complete darkness or severe weather when other aircraft were grounded. This allowed sustained bombing pressure day and night against enemy supply networks in Vietnam, regardless of visibility. General Dynamics F-111 Aardvark, United States. The operational pioneer of variable geometry wings. Purpose-built for deep interdiction, it introduced terrain-following radar, enabling automated flight at very low altitudes and supersonic speeds beneath enemy radar coverage. Its effectiveness was demonstrated during Operation El Dorado Canyon in 1986, when it executed long-range precision night strikes against Libya, flying directly from bases in the United Kingdom. The Untouchable, Strategic Reconnaissance. Lockheed SR-71 Blackbird, United States. The highest-performing strategic reconnaissance aircraft ever built. Unarmed by design, its mission was intelligence, collecting critical visual and electronic data over the Soviet Union and active conflict zones, shaping strategic targeting decisions long before strikes were launched. Operating at altitudes above 26 kilometers and speeds exceeding Mach 3.2, Its standard countermeasure against surface-to-air missiles was brutally simple: accelerate. Over its operational life, it is estimated that more than 4,000 missiles were fired in attempts to intercept it. Not a single Blackbird was ever shot down by enemy fire. If this video added something to your understanding of military power and defense, consider subscribing. Your like and your comment help keep the channel going. Until next time.